Illinois State University's campus. Located in Normal, Illinois, it is a thriving and diverse ecosystem. Animals, trees, and students. Many creatures reside on the campus of Illinois State University, but one reigns supreme. Squirrels are a hard-to-miss sight on the quad. Currently, there are more than 200 species of squirrel. The most abundant species of squirrel found in the quad is the fox squirrel, known for their distinctive red-furred bellies. This is Dr. Angelo Caparella, a retired ISU professor who works in the collection facility.
My name is Angelo Caparella. I have a doctorate and now retired, but I used to teach a number of courses here in the School of Biological Sciences. Another job title I had was curator of the collection of birds and mammals, which is why, and I have a lot of background in working in museums, which is why it kind of fell on my shoulders. But I enjoy that very much. So we're in the biology department's bird and mammal collection, and I've pulled out a few specimens to represent some of the diversity of the squirrel family locally. So here we have a fox squirrel. You can see how pretty they are underneath, and you can see how rufous the tail is. And this has been made by making an incision, taking out all the meat, and then stuffing it again with cotton. You can see some cotton there. And that's the one that I see on the quad.
A squirrel's diet consists of nuts, seeds, vegetation, berries, and many other scavengeable edibles. They're opportunistic and will eat just about anything they can get their paws on.
Now, squirrels are omnivores. Obviously, we all know squirrels really like acorns and other nuts off of nut trees, and that's what they'll often bury in the ground to eat over the winter time. But they'll also eat small insects and the like as well if they come across them.
Squirrels will bury their nuts in the ground and create small caches for the winter. They don't hibernate, so it is imperative that they have enough stored food to get through the cold and food-desolate months.
Squirrels don't hibernate in the winter. That's why they have to have food stores of acorns and the like buried, because it gets harder to find buds or other parts of the plant that are not ready to come out until spring. So they will be active every day. In fact, if you run a bird feeder, you'll see them hopefully not on the feeder, but at least eating seed that drops from the bird feeder to the ground. And a lot of people like to feed squirrels, so they will get cracked corn or sunflower seeds that are part of the bird feeder seeds and throw those out for the squirrels to eat, but they don't hibernate. This is a gray squirrel. It looks kind of similar, but notice it doesn't have the same color underside, that bright rufous, and the tail doesn't have any rufous in it like the fox squirrel does. And the gray squirrels are becoming more abundant locally, so I expect them someday to show up in the quad. But they're pretty close. You can go to Constitution Trail and see them.
Squirrels have a highly developed sense of smell and an impeccable memory. This helps them to locate their hoards months after they create them. Squirrels will use landmarks to locate their food stashes. But despite these precautions, they still manage to lose about 74% of all nuts they bury to various causes. While this is a blow to the squirrel, the loss of the acorns is important to the greater ecosystem. Those acorns will sprout and grow into trees, restoring forests and perpetuating the natural cycle of life.
Well, they help replant trees. They don't always remember everywhere they put an acorn. Of course, an acorn is, and other nuts, that is what the tree grows from. And so they are useful in terms of spreading trees to other parts of the area in the forest. So that's probably their main function. Then people just like squirrels. Squirrels are one of the mammals you can see quite prominently. And so it's hard to do mammal watching like you do bird watching, but these squirrels are very interesting behaviors, watching them, amazing acrobats in terms of getting through trees and the like.
Thievery is a common practice among squirrels, so much so that they have developed a behavior called tactical deception, in which they will fake burying a nut to throw off other squirrels. Fox squirrels live in tree nests, but typically other species of squirrels will sleep on the ground or in tree trunks. When the weather starts to cool, squirrels will seek warmer shelter, typically turning to houses, sheds, or garages.
Well, in terms of the fox squirrel particularly, what they'll do is they will actually put together a leaf nest. So if you see kind of what looks like a ball of leaves in a tree, once they lose their leaves, the squirrels actually get the dead leaves, bring them up to the tree, make a spherical nest, and that's where they'll spend the night each night. Here's another squirrel. This is a ground squirrel. These two are tree squirrels here. And this one's a ground squirrel, the 13-line ground squirrel. And so they like kind of open spaces. So if you ever see a little squirrel scurrying into a hole, it could be this. And again, I haven't seen any of these on campus, but they are found in the area here. They have a beautiful pattern, really nice pattern.
Squirrels are typically skittish in nature, but those that live in close relation to large human populations have been documented to have warmed up to them. The squirrels of the ISU Quad no longer see the students as threats.
And then the other one I pulled out is this is a flying squirrel. It's truly a gliding squirrel. They can't really fly, but they have these skin flaps that they extend when they're going from one tree to the next, which allows them to sort of glide down and then come up to the side of the tree like that. But they're nocturnal, and so they're very seldom seen because of that.
Squirrels are often thought of as vermin, nothing more than an annoying rodent. But there is more than meets the eye when it comes to these small creatures. Squirrels play a vital role in our ecosystem and have sustained themselves through harsh climates and the ever-changing expansion of the human population.
Despite the fact they get run over so often, they actually do pretty well in town. And so the fox squirrel is the one you see in the quad. Other parts of campus you might be able to find some of these other squirrels that I showed you. But I haven't done a thorough assessment. They're definitely in the town of Normal, however, these other ones that I've showed you.
Despite these forces, squirrels are resilient and have persevered, carving out a special place for themselves in our world.